Hello, this is Ray Main here again with today's Bible reading. Today we're going to be reading in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24. And it came to pass, when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose, and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privily. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And he said unto his men, The Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. So David stayed his servants with these words, and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave, and went on his way. David also arose afterward, and went out of the cave, and cried after Saul, saying, My lord the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth, and bowed himself. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt? Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how that the Lord had delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. And some bade me kill thee, but mine eye spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth mine hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed. Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in my hand, for in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe, and kill thee not. Know thou, and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in mine hand, and I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it. The Lord judge between me and thee, and the Lord avenge me of thee, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. As saith the proverb of the ancients, Wickedness proceedeth from the wicked, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog, after a flea. The Lord therefore be judge, and judge between me and thee, and see, and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. And it came to pass, when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. And he said to David, Thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. And thou hast showed this day how that thou hast dwelt well with me, forasmuch as when the Lord had delivered me into thine hand, thou killest me not. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go well away? Wherefore the Lord reward thee good, for that thou hast done unto me this day. And now, behold, I know well that thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thine hand. Swear now therefore unto me by the Lord that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house. And David sware unto Saul, and Saul went home, but David and his men gat them up under the hold. So we see here that David had a chance to kill Saul, and how many people would have been able to withhold their hand and not take vengeance on him. But David saw something here, and there's a principle here that I have tried to apply to my life. I'm not going to say that I've always done it. The little part that touch not mine anointed. Yes, God's anointing had already passed off of Saul and to David, but he was once an anointed man of God. And this is something that I try to watch out for. I try to keep my mouth off of men that I know were at least once anointed of God. A lot of people are anointed of God, and then they lose that anointing. But whenever you put your mouth on them, it's the same as putting your hand on them. and you're standing in danger of judgment of God by having your mouth on those people. It's just a little something to throw out there, and in the heat of the moment, sometimes I forget, sometimes you forget, but we need to watch that. Put yourself in Saul's place here. Can you imagine? He knew really, but he hadn't admitted it to himself that the anointing had passed off of him to David. He suspected, and he finally admitted and come to the place to where he had to admit that the anointing had passed from him and that David was going to be king. Can you imagine the bitterness that was in his heart? But he couldn't overcome his old carnal nature, that was there. So I pity him. Touch not mine anointed. We'll see other scriptures as we go through that'll repeat this concept, but keep that in mind whenever you're dealing with people. That's the lesson for today. God bless you. Have a blessed day.